Hey guys, Stan here, back with another guitar lesson, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I play Vortex by the band Jinjer. One of my favorite tunes, one of my favorite bands. First thing we're going to do is make sure you have your guitar tuned correctly. This song is actually in drop A, so not your grandpa's tuning. Drop A sounds like this. A, E, A, D, F sharp, and B. We'll see if we can keep it in tune for the whole lesson. Really tough on this acoustic guitar here, and she's not happy with me. For the guitar lesson, we're going to play each section twice. We'll do one at tempo and one slowly. I'll have the tabs below so you can follow along. So let's start with the intro. The intro is a really cool major 7th chord that they're outlining with this cool riff, so I'll play that first. Now if we play that slowly. You then repeat that whole section twice. The next section of the song, they're going to go into some power chords, and there's this really cool meandering lick. Play that at tempo here. Now I want you to pay special attention to the fingering. I'm using my middle finger, ring finger, and pinky here intentionally with this tritone. And that's just to set me back up for when I go back into that riff. We'll play that slowly now. And again, this sets me up then to go back into that riff. So that whole section repeats. The last time through, they're going to change it up just a little bit with where the power chords go, and then they end on this big diminished sounding chord. I'll play that now. I'll play that again slowly. It's a really cool sounding chord there. The next section is they're going into some riffs down here in what would look like an E flat in a normal tuning. So we'll play that at tempo here. You'll notice I'll be playing a lot of hybrid picking. That's just a stylistic thing. I know they're going to play with a lot of palm mutes and picks. Do whatever's comfortable for you, but I tend to like to use my fingers there. Play that section slowly now. Fun fact about that is he's actually playing a diminished chord here, and you can actually move that around the neck using minor thirds or leaving 2 frets between each of the root notes. So it's actually this one. So it's a very jazzy progression here, but they're making it pretty dark and just playing the top half of that chord. The next section, they're going to do this walk up with power chords and then accent them with some really cool chords on top of that. So I'll play that at tempo here. Play that slowly now. Then that whole section just repeats again. After we get through that ascending section, then we get to the hits. This sounds really cool with a full band, so we'll try to replicate that here on the acoustic guitar. So I'll play that at tempo. play that slowly. And that is that is really hard to play slow because you want to feel that. If you're having a hard time with the rhythms, I just recommend clapping along. And if you can clap it, you should be able to then play it with your right hand. So again, a lot easier at tempo. Just pay attention to the tab below if you're trying to figure out those rhythms and try to clap along with it. After those hits, it goes to this really cool riff and one of my favorite parts of the song. It almost cycles, it's very chromatic. So again, I'll play that at tempo, and then we're gonna play it slowly. If you listen to how I play it, I'm gonna start kind of the first 2 repetitions using palm mutes. And if you wanna make it sound more aggressive as you're working through the riff, take that palm mute off and just let it ring. It'll sound a little bit more aggressive, give you some interest there. All right, now we'll play that slowly. Again, really hard to play slow. You're going to want to get in the groove there, but it feels like it's cycling, and it's just kind of that chromatic nature of it. It's just a really cool, well-written riff. Once they get through that riff, then it goes to this really cool ascending tritone vibe. It's going to start very palm muted for the first 2 chords, and then they open it up to give it, again, a different dynamic and a different timbre here. The rhythm for this is going to be this gallop. It's a... So as long as your right hand just keeps doing that gallop, just follow along with the tabs. We'll play that at tempo here. All right, we're gonna try and play it slow. Again, a lot easier to play at tempo. Once you get through that section, they do this one-time turnaround. It sounds like this. All right, now we'll play that slowly. All right, then we go into the big breakdown where Tatiana is just wailing on the vocals. Play that slowly now. Again, to make this part sound aggressive, especially on acoustic, I'm hitting it pretty heavy, making sure I'm getting some percussion behind that. Obviously, if you're full-blown distortion, you might not need to be as aggressive with that because you'll have the tone behind you. But again, in that section, I'm really digging into it. So you're gonna play that section 3 times, and then they get a little sneaky, and they change it up just enough that it gets into this really cool transition into these big open arpeggiated chords here. So I'll play the change here. All right, now we'll play that section slowly. Once we get through that really cool open arpeggiated chord section, we're back to hits. We'll play that at tempo. Now we'll do that slowly. You'll notice they add just one extra, almost like a half beat in there. That took me the longest time to try to figure out why that sounded just enough off where I couldn't feel it. So pay special attention to that. Now we're at the last part. We get slow, we get dirty, we get chunky, and this just does not translate super well on the acoustic guitar. Crank up your distortion, get your palm mutes in there, and wail away. The last chunky section, all about that tritone. For those of you that like to ear train, this is the start of the Simpsons theme song. That's how I learned that. The hits basically alternate between 1 and 2. They do that section 3 times, and then they got this kind of octave riff that turns it around. So we'll play it at tempo. Sounds much better with full distortion, but we're going to make do with what we got here. We're going to try to play this slow. This is where it gets really hard without a click, but we'll do our best here. And the last part of the song is we're back to those hits. And there you have it. That is the song Vortex by Jinjer. If you enjoyed this lesson and you're still watching, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you'd like me to do a lesson on next. Thanks a lot for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.